What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Line Blog. I am in between a break, and I just, I was laughing because I'm looking over my comment sections. I'm looking over many things, and my number one and number two videos that got went viral. My number one and number two videos that went viral were things on if your parents are poor, you will be poor, which statistically can be proven. Another video that went viral was blacks are fleeing to Texas and Florida. No, Texas and Atlanta. Another post I put on there was about Cardi B. Now, I laugh, and I know you guys are like, well, Ericka, why are you posting these silly posts? And if you know why I'm posting it, you know why I'm posting it. I'm posting it because that's what people specialize in. People absolutely specialize in the silly stuff. They specialize in Cardi B and all these things that are so very trivial. They specialize in gossip and learning about other people's lives. Why? Because sometimes people's lives are boring, right? That's one. And two, to some degree, that's what people are feeding themselves. And what you feed yourself is what you'll get out of your life. Many people are like, how are you having such a massive transition in life in 4 years? And it's because this is what I'm focusing and feeding myself on is business information. And what I learned is all roads lead to ownership. Now, I want you to pay attention. If you look at Prince, if you look at Michael Jackson, if you look at, and especially Michael Jackson, especially with this thing that just happened. Michael Jackson owned almost everybody in their mama's rights. He owned Eminem's rights for 9 years after Eminem got smart with him on a song. Even though Eminem apologized, Michael Jackson went out and bought all his rights and royalties. Okay? Of course, it got purchased back 9 years later. Then, he owned the Beatles. You name it, he owned it, right? Same thing with Prince. He bought all his music. Now, sadly, Prince's family, because they were not well-versed or well-educated or even cared, have sold all his music back. Same thing right now. You didn't hear about it, but Rihanna just bought all her rights. Now, what happened to Rihanna a couple years ago? One of her financial managers took advantage of her. So she took a step back out of music and everything, and just to sit down and fully hardcore focus on what makes her money and how does she make money. So then she comes out with the Fenty line, the beauty line. Okay. All roads lead to ownership. And at the end of the day, every single thing I see on YouTube is ways for people to get out of ownership. Ericka, I just want to travel the world. I don't want to own a house. I don't want to own a car. I just want to travel. And what happens is the only way they'll be able to travel is if they don't have an apartment and they don't have a car payment because they only make $2 or $3 grand a month. And they're like, I'd rather collect experiences, Ericka, experiences. Okay. Same thing you see these guys all over YouTube. Oh man, Ericka, I'm going to Brazil. I'm going to Dominican Republic. I'm doing these things. Instead of, and listen, there's several videos where the guys have been like, I spend hours every night, 2-3 hours a night studying Portuguese so I can speak to the ladies in Brazil. Now, everybody needs a goal. Everybody needs a hobby. But if you're spending 2 to 3 hours a night studying that's 2 to 3 hours you could have been spending on improving your life financially, all right? And having the best American life. Now people say, well, Ericka, America sucks. There's other places that are better. Listen to me. There are people all over this world dying. There are Hispanic people, not from Mexico, but from other Hispanic countries, literally crawling across our border, dying to get to America, to win here. But yet, what are we spending our time? We're talking about Cardi B. And if you talk to any police officer, if you talk to any bouncer, any black DJ, anybody that works in these club systems, they've seen this for years. They've seen robbery, they've seen drug crimes, they've seen people slip stuff in people's drinks, they've seen people, all kind of terrible things happen because it is a part of the underworld. It is a part of that job career people don't want to be a part of. The average dancer only stays in the career 2 years and is gone because it's not safe. But yet we are sitting here playing stupid. Like, I'm so shocked. You know why people are so shocked? Because the majority of these people, they don't have, their lives are very boring. They get up, they go to work, and they come home and watch YouTube and get on Facebook. They don't know about strippers. They don't know about hookers. They don't know about crime. but they listening to rap music and acting all hood and tough. No, they don't. And on the thing of Michael Jackson and Prince and Rihanna and Chris Brown and all these people, what happens, unfortunately, these people learn too late in their career that I need to own the rights to my music. You know, if you think this is just happens to R&B artists, no. This happens in country music. Country music used to have a thing called the Country Mafia, the Nashville Mafia, actually. And there's even a movie on one or two guys who literally got ran off the road, shot at, got put in an insane asylum because he wanted the rights to his music in the 1960s. This is a real thing. Because who owns those rights to those songs for 70 plus years gets money. Look at the DeBarge family. Berry Gordy. All these people. Every time those people were in drugs or in jail or had a problem, they said, hey, just sell us your rights and we'll get you out of jail. We'll give you some money. Ownership is very powerful. And I say all this, all roads lead to ownership, is because what happens is so many of you are focusing on, my job isn't paying enough. This isn't paying enough. It does not matter. It does not matter if you don't own anything. There's 6% of people who make $100,000 a year who have no savings. Those people are no better off than the lady who makes $40,000 a year. And the reason I keep trying to get you guys to see this is the fact is it's what you own that matters. And many of you, I talk about real estate. Well, Ericka, I live in New York. I live in Virginia. There's a million reasons why you can't do it. And I go, well, why don't you own it out of state? Oh, that's too much. Listen, all roads to wealth lead through real estate, lead through business, lead through ownership. I even talk about mortgage notes. And many people are like, oh, Ericka, I want to have mortgage notes. Mortgage notes are going to be $80,000, $70,000, $150,000. Okay, what about annuities, Ericka? Annuities start at $80,000. So many of you are going to watch this video later and say, well, but no. All these things where you don't require to own anything require huge lump sums of money. Period. So I know many of you get like, well, what about? No. The simplest answer is the truest answer. The simple answer is making more money, owning your home so that you cut your rental expenses in half, 9 times out of 10. Depending on the city, you cut your rent in the city is going to be $2,000 to $3,000. Your mortgage is going to be $900 to $1,500. 9 times out of 10. And the reason I keep bringing this up is everybody tries to get around it. Music artists have tried to get around it. Everybody's trying to get around it. Yeah, you're right. Dolly Parton is smart enough to own our rights. Dolly Parton got in a lawsuit. She was on a TV show. And you can go look this up in Wikipedia. She was on a TV show. And she was like a TV singing girl, right? And it was this guy named Buck Owens show. And Buck Owens, she was, listen, let's say what it is. Buck Owens was sleeping with the girls who sang on the show. Because they were trying to get the limelight to be famous. And so she wrote the 2 songs. She wrote I Will Always Love You and Jolene. Now, when she started to sing it, it became such a hit. She was like, Buck, I'm leaving you. I'm leaving the show. So she did a whole song about I Will Always Love You and leaves the show. Done. Well, this song, of course, becomes the biggest hit ever. Jolene becomes the biggest hit ever. It's like 2 of the most repeatedly sung songs in all of the world. Buck Owens was in his feelings because Dolly Parton came out on his show. How dare her go off and be amazingly famous? Now, listen, Buck Owens at the time was a dimming light in country music, and she was a rising star. So he was using his power. He was pulling the Elvis and sleeping with the young girls on the show. Now, with that being said, Dolly Parton went in a lawsuit with him because he wanted to sue her and saying, hey, he had rights to those songs because she was under his management, which really she wasn't. She was on her show. End of the day, she had to fight with Buck Owens for 5-6 years. Bitterly fight for her rights, okay? And in the end, she paid him a little bit of money. Because she just wanted it to be over. Now, why is this important? Dolly Parton's song, I Will Always Love You, was sang most popularly by who? Whitney Houston. What happened when Whitney Houston sang Dolly Parton's song? Dolly Parton became an additional multi-millionaire. What happened when Whitney Houston died? Dolly Parton got more millions of dollars. because she owns the rights to her songs. You can buy people's royalties right now. You can buy some of Usher's songs right now on some of these royalty sites. You can buy a couple of different people's songs. And I want to do a video on it, but some of them were like $30,000, $40,000, you know, yada yada. Some were $20,000. I mean, it's just different prices. But I didn't think you guys understood the concept of it. The concept is what you own that matters. A lot of you, when I'm talking about tech jobs, all my tech friends, almost every single one of them own a house. Even, let me just peep you on some game. There are several people, I'm not going to name their names, who we've seen them on the internets and Instagram. They're a tech person. You know what they did? They moved to a house a little bit out on the edge, USDA, 100%, no money down, and then moved back into the city. There are like 5 of them right now who I can point out on Instagram right now who did that very thing I've talked about for 5 years on here. And y'all act like, oh, I don't want to do that. The best and the brightest and the smartest people you know on the gram right now are doing that. And so for me, I love YouTube. I love teaching. This has always been fun. But for me, it does get a little bit redundant because a lot of people are like, what's the trick, Ericka? What's the secret sauce? The secret sauce is make more money and buy assets. That is the secret sauce. And right now, I'm in Austin, and there's a couple commercial buildings that are for sale. That are for sale. And so somebody said, well, I wouldn't buy that. All these empty commercial buildings. But that's just the point. You buy the commercial building. You're not a part of a REIT. And you can make the price to get in whatever you want. See, that's what people don't understand. Right now, there's some land available in my hometown. Can buy and build whatever I want on it. Same thing earlier when I named off different cities that you guys could buy real estate in for 60 and 70K. There's a lot of places. But here's the thing. You'd be a lot better off having 10 rental properties than a booming Shopify store. But nobody wants to hear that. You'd be better off with 2 or 3 cars rented out on Torino.com than an online website making you $3,000 a month. Nobody wants to hear that, though. All the things that you think are hard to do are where the money are. And there's a pivotal point right now in America where a lot of these older people and older families, you'll look in some of these cities and states and they're selling a lot of these cheaper properties because the older parent has died and the children don't want to be bothered with it. But all roads lead to ownership. Now, mark my words. You guys date this video. What's today's date? Whatever today's date is, I bet you within a year, Cardi B will buy the rights to her music. Because she's going to be almost run up out of town. Let me put it to you that way. Cardi B is not smart, but the people behind her are going to try to make sure they save their butts. Okay? What she was doing is stupid. But let me tell you. Okay? 3/29. Thank you. It's 3/29. It's March 29th. Mark my words. Try to check on it again March 29 next year. I would not be surprised if Cardi B buys right. Cardi B is right now trademarking occur. And people were mad at herself. Mad at why she trademarking that? Because everywhere she goes, she does it. Everywhere she goes, she does it. Okay? But let's just not let... What happens to most artists, by the time they wise up to what's been going on around them, they're almost out of the industry. You hear any songs Rihanna putting out right now? No, but she just bought her rights. Why? You think I'm saying? You guys got to pay attention. By the time they figure it out, same thing with these NFL players. By the time they've been in for 4 years and it's time for them to be out, they finally figured out what they need to do with their money. Now, you got a new generation of these black players that aren't playing stupid. They are saving their buckets because they know it's a short game. But you still have a ton of African-American kids out here. I'm going to buy mama a house. And they're not very smart. They aren't well-read. And that's all they got. No one prepared them for anything else. That show Ballers is not a joke. That's real life. Like, literally, they've just taken several people they know and just write stories. That's it. So, when I wrote the book Smartphone Millionaire, which I promise at some point I'm going to put the second edition out. At some point here. You guys don't understand. You have to own things. You have to own things. That's it. That's the only way out of this situation, is owning things. Many people are going to say, well, what about the recession, Ericka? I'm going to wait till the recession. Honey, you can wait till the recession, but you're not going to be financially approved. Sure, wait. Yeah, cool, wait. Yeah, totally do it. Wait. But there's people right now who said the same thing after 2008. Same thing. They say it all the time. What's up, everybody? Yeah, so look, I just want to clarify that I get it. When I put up silly topics or I put up ghetto conversations, people love talking about that. Anytime I post stuff on the little post over there on YouTube commentary page, I love interacting with you guys on there. But you can see how many people are like, Cardi B, because it's popular. And I'll say this, one of the reasons I'm not mad at Instagram for showing all these people who clickbait, clickbait. Hey, listen, AM1, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I really did. You guys chew me out about the Cardi B thing. On Facebook, you guys chew me out. On Instagram, you guys chew me out. I literally put up a poll. I was like, if you don't want to be robbed or mugged, don't bring strippers and hookers to your hotel room. It's just kind of simple as that, right? You know, when people say I don't want bad things to happen to me, don't hang around bad people. I don't want to be beat up by the police. Well, we can go several questions in that. You know, a lot of people complain about, you guys are glorifying that. But who's glorifying that? Who's glorifying that? People who think she's attractive. I was capable. No, listen. Listen, AM1, be for real. There's two different scenarios. Y'all keep trying to give me the scenario of, well, if a man drugs a woman's drink, that's just as bad. No. Cardi B and that gentleman were engaging in prostitution. So you're telling me someone who's engaging in prostitution and gets robbed in the purpose, in the same time frame, I should feel sad for? I don't feel sad. I don't feel sad about it. I don't feel like, Cardi B isn't black, no way. Nah. AM1, let's be really honest. Cardi B was selling booty. Like, not to be in bad taste, but that's what she was doing. And that's the only way she'd have been in close enough proximity to drug you that you would pass out and she would rob you. You're not passing out in no nightclubs. I know way too many DJs and way too many security bouncers. This is how they get their places shut down. If they got people passed out inside the club, they getting shut down. These men were in hotel room parties. And the funniest parts about some of the commentary, many men were like, I've been in hotel room parties and I didn't get robbed. So you know what was going on for them to be in that close proximity and be drugged. Okay. Now, say what you will. What's going to come out of this is Cardi B's going to try to buy her masters. She's going to try to buy a ton of stuff. If she's smart. And I know she's not smart, y'all. She's barely literate. But the people around her is what I mean. Nah, AM1, that's totally different. Not any woman. That is only criminal activity behavior locations. A prime example, a nightclub. Prime example 2, a strip club. Prime example 3, a hotel room party. If you were with a group of people and they're trying to have a hotel room party, then you were probably with some criminal element where people are smoking various drugs and somebody's about to get robbed. Listen, yes, prostitution is illegal. She makes money. So if someone dies from a drug overdose, no. I'm not going to say if she murdered them. Come on, you guys. You're trying so hard to stretch this out. You're trying so hard for the sympathy man plea, and you've already got it. Let's be really honest. The gender wars are over. Men pretty much, if they walk up and say, hey, this is how it's going to be, this is the rules, pretty much you got it. But you know how you do that? Ownership. He who has the gold makes the rules. And people don't like that, but that's the truth. Again, Angry Man's putting out a book that's talking about if you marry a woman who's a single mom, you need to have the house in your name, you need to have the car in your name, you need to have things in your name. What does that sound like? Ownership. He who has the gold makes the rules. But people don't want to acknowledge that. They want to pretend like, see, it's because Cardi B's a woman that you guys are giving her a pass. Lil Wayne said the same thing about putting drugs. I'm not going to go too far into the conversation. But Lil Wayne, Google it, where he was bringing women back to his hotel room, of course, of music concerts, and drugging them, and somebody had a bad reaction. They had to call 911. Trust. These things are happening, but because the person's popular and it was Lil Wayne and it was a man, we didn't care. Oh, see, you guys, this is where you guys get out of logic and you're getting really emotional. This is where you're not going to talk logic. And so I'm going to let it go. Hey, Ericka, what exactly is Skynet? I know you mentioned it a lot, but I get lost when you bring it up. D. Nixon, Skynet is YouTube. So Skynet, I was shadow banned this past year and a half, actually, because I send so much traffic off the platform. You guys buy so much products and services. I've been a 6-figure YouTuber for so many years that no one gets any notifications. I do shows and no one would know. Well, all of a sudden, the shadow ban came off. For various reasons, it came off. Nothing I did, no ad spin. And so essentially Skynet lifted its ban off me, and I had over 7 videos get 80,000 views each out of nowhere. So that is Skynet. Skynet, if you ever watched the movie Terminator, Skynet is artificial intelligence. And algorithms, since YouTube claims it's not doing anything personal, it's algorithms that are controlling YouTube. You can't talk to a person. You can't talk to a computer. They claim they're not doing it on purpose. It's just the computer. That's why I call it Skynet. I say we survived Skynet. And we did. So, in this video, the reason I was talking about why ownership is so important is, prime example, a lot of the artists you've been seeing that used to get in a lot of trouble, by the time they figure out it's time to be quiet and stop getting in trouble, they try to buy their rights. Prime examples, I'll list them as goes. Michael Jackson, who bought up everything, he figured out the game a long time ago. Prince, who bought up all his masters, and then his family turned around and sold his masters back to the people because his family's not educated. Period. He didn't have any children. Next is Chris Brown. Chris Brown bought his rights. Next is Usher doesn't own a lot of his rights. This is a fact because I go on a lot of royalty music websites and Usher's music's all over that bad boy. Okay? Another one, Beyonce, notoriously known for stealing people's rights, suing people, taking people to court. If I Were a Girl was written by a white girl who is blonde in California, and she had to sue Beyonce because another DJ gave her music to Beyonce. Beyonce threw her name on it, even though she was aware it was somebody else's. So once it went viral, the white girl had to sue her. I think she walked away. And of course, this is undisclosed. So technically, what people in the music industry say, the white girl walked away at $15 million for a song, and that's all she'll ever get. Now, if I Was a Boy ever gets played anywhere else, you know, it gets picked up again in the future, makes a ton of more money, this girl won't make any money. Somebody brought up in the examples, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton owned all the rights to all her music, and she's one of the wealthiest musicians out there. Prime example, I Will Always Love You. She wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You in the same day. Who sang I Will Always Love You? Whitney Houston. She made it popular again in the 90s. And in addition, when Whitney Houston died, unfortunately, I think Dolly Parton, they were in an interview and they were like, oh man, you know, people really love this song. And she said, yeah, people really love it, you know, when Whitney was alive. And then when Whitney died, she said, yeah, it's really sad, you know, but people are really loving it again because she's the one getting paid. So what happens is a lot of these artists figure out a little too late that ownership matters. And what I said is today is March 29th. Watch a year from now that Cardi B tries to own her rights. Maybe not her because she's barely literate, but people on her team so that she keeps her money. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Because this is, people are incensed at Cardi B's actions. How dare her, right? And like I said all week, if these men feel this has happened to them, I would like them to immediately go report it to the police. But guess what you have to provide when you say somebody raped and robbed you? Dates, times. This is the biggest loophole of the Bill Cosby case. People can't provide accurate dates. They can't provide accurate times. It was 20 years ago. They don't remember. They don't know. Possibly. Like, that's part of that. So a lot of these men, If that really did happen, they got to give dates and times. And then why were you in the hotel room with her? What were you doing there? Right? People don't report things when they're sketchy. Okay? What does sketchy mean? Buying prostitution. Okay? The reason I bring that up is I was saying when artists start to fall off, such as Rihanna, you haven't heard songs from Rihanna in, I don't know, a year or so? I don't know how long, since she's been doing the makeup. She bought her rights. Now, why did she buy her rights? A couple years ago, she was robbed by a financial advisor. Completely robbed. So she made the song, still got my money. Okay? Then did what? Came out with the Fenty line. Makeup line. Switched lanes completely. She's actually a model, too, in some stuff in Europe. Anyway, the point of why I'm bringing this up is everybody wants to specialize in the lower level dumb shit, which is Cardi B's a stripper and she drug people. Or they want to focus on Mingos and cheating and her husband saying, well, I married Cardi B because she wasn't a black woman. I don't care that he did that. I don't care. But you care because it's something you can specialize in and you feel you're very confident in conversations talking about nothing. Period. When it comes to business, when it talks about buying royalties, when it talks about buying trucks, when it talks about buying apartments, when it comes to talking about let's put some money together and buy a bunch of shit on a block, people don't have a lot to say because they didn't specialize in it. And the reason my 4 years have been so dramatic and different is because I just said, okay, what's over there? I need to know this. How do I do this? How do I do this? Next level. How do I do this? Next level. And the whole time, do you think these conversations have been attractive to me? Of course. Of course, silly conversations are attractive to me. They're hilarious. But you can't specialize in them. And this is why the reason you hear me talk about Skynet so much is because the purge is coming. They sent out a couple emails a little while ago, maybe a week ago, where it said, hey, do you feel like people are copywriting your material? Click this button and us, Skynet, will search YouTube to take down every single video that might have your stuff in it. Now, who is this going to affect the most? Let's be really honest. Think on it hard. These entertainment videos, these videos talking about Cardi B, these videos using people's likeness, these videos in the manosphere, these videos that are red pill, blue pill, even Vegan Games had his channel taken down. And I like him, but his whole channel consists of attacking people. So they took it down and they put it back up somehow. He somehow got it back up. And now he's been very well behaved. Now, the reason I'm telling y'all this is if my channel disappears for whatever reason, don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't educate you along the way. Don't say I didn't try to tell you what is coming on this platform. And that's why I'm so hard. And I really, truly believe the reason I'm going to Afrocheck and I'm going to all these conferences, there is a Opportunity Expo coming out in Las Vegas, May 9th and 10th. I probably won't be able to go. And it's talking about opportunity zones. Now, I looked on the message platform for that day, and it's going to be every CEO and big bank and you name it, it's going to be there. And in the profile, I saw 1, 2, 3 black people. Out of the 40 people speaking, it's probably 3 black people. But where neighborhoods are they going to do these opportunity zones in? Black ones. And what I see is us, again, being left behind. I did that video a couple days ago because I was not playing with you guys. Between the trucking, between the real estate, between several things, we are not going to be included in these marketplaces if we do not own anything. And this is very true. This is not like, oh, Ericka, you're being conspiratorial. No. One of the black people that's going to be on stage speaking is George Foreman III. How is George Foreman III up there? Because he's bringing Foreman Enterprises. What is Foreman Enterprises? George Foreman's dad bought up all this real estate for his sons, who are all named George Foreman. And so he's going to be one of the speakers. Why? Because his family owns a ton of stuff. You don't know about George Foreman's family owning all this real estate because you hear about, what's his name? Magic Johnson owning all this real estate. You hear about other people owning all this real estate, but you don't hear about the Foremans. And so I try to give you guys this information because I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, when I go to these conferences, when I go to these events, it's the same people over and over. It's the same people in the room. That's why I said Cardi B can get taken off all this stuff and they can do all this stuff to her. But she's on a ton of features. She is a feature or whatever, how you want to say the lingo. She's on a ton of stuff with, God, what's his name? 24 karat magic guy. What's his name? Bruno Mars. She's on a ton of stuff with Bruno Mars. She's got future songs with Bruno Mars. She's got future songs with Bad Bunny. She's got future songs with a lot of people. Same way y'all were talking about Nicki Minaj a couple years ago. That's how you're going to be talking about Cardi B. Like, who? Cardi who? Cardi B took the stage where? Not today. So, let me see. What else y'all got in here? Prostitutes and soliciting them comes with a risk far greater than STDs. Thank you, Michael D. Robert Kraft. Did you talk about Robert Kraft also? Did I have a post on Robert Kraft? No. This is backfiring on women. How is it backfiring on women? It really isn't. Listen, just like you guys keep claiming there's going to be a race war and there's a gender war, those shits are over. Listen, go look. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. Over the past 10 years, stay-at-home moms went up 13% because daycare costs too much. So these women ain't going to be out here having these babies willy-nilly no more when these cuts come. They not going to do it. They're going to marry somebody. You can call them simps or whatever you want to call them. They're going to marry somebody. They're going to live with somebody. Okay? These things aren't backfiring on women. This is an echo chamber. YouTube's an echo chamber. You guys are dreaming this shit up. Listen to me. The number of deaths of white people, 45 to 54, is skyrocketing. From suicides, they call them deaths of despair. There's a map. I'm going to share it. I don't know if it's in the commentary, tell me. But if not, I'll take a screenshot and put it over there today. Glenn and Cameron shared it on Facebook. There's a lot of articles talking about this stuff where just a lot of people are taking themselves off. Just, they can't deal. They cannot deal with the changing reality that is in front of them. And when Andrew Yang came up and said, man, black people and Hispanic people ain't gonna have no wealth, what he really saying is if y'all don't own nothing, you're really not gonna be counted for. If you don't own anything, if you ain't invested in nowhere. Listen, I know about 8 YouTubers who just moved to Oakland. Tell me take a guess in the comment section. What are the 8 YouTubers who all just moved to Oakland who make a lot of money? What are they doing right now in Oakland? Somebody put in the comments what you think they're doing in Oakland. Put it in the comments. Let me see what we got in here. Not all hotel parties involve prostitution. AM1, that may be a California thing, but anywhere else, them lot lizards are in hotel parties, okay? You best believe the people are eating off her mind, you not her. They already got a plan B, C, and D. Listen, they got a plan lined up for Cardi. Listen, I would not even be surprised if Cardi P comes up with some kind of foundation or some kind of thing that, and all it is going to be for her daughter. This is what the Clintons did. The Clintons have the Clinton Foundation. And their daughter gets paid is it $400,000 a year? Y'all can Google that too. I think Hillary Clinton's daughter gets paid $400,000 a year out of the foundation. The Bushes have a foundation. Both their daughters get paid out of the foundation every year. I mean, it's just a tax shelter. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden half of Cardi B's money is in a trust. I would not be surprised at all. Love you, Ericka from Paris. Thank you so much. But black men are supposed to be protectors. Can't have it both ways. AM1, let me tell you something. I haven't seen, and I don't mean this in a mean way, I haven't seen a black man under 50 protect anybody. I'm not gonna lie. I just haven't seen it. I've been out places where something was happening and always an older black man's like, hey, what y'all doing? Like, I've just never seen a young black guy be like, oh, let me help you, sis. Like, it's always an older black guy. I've just never seen it. I don't even see young white dudes stand up like that. That's an older generation thing. And same thing with that parking lot where that woman was at Walmart and her dumb ass shouldn't have got out of the car and she was pregnant, but she did. And that older black guy came by and was like, hey, that's an older black guy thing. I just haven't seen black men I'm be careful. I would say under 40. I mean, there's still some younger 45-ish dudes that still act that way, but I just haven't seen it. A lot of y'all are trying to save these hotel parties, and I'm questioning what state are y'all in? Are y'all all in California? Because if it's a California thing, I'll let it slide. But nah, we didn't party in hotels. That's some weird shit. Wayne Cosby. Cardi B is not black. Get into it. She's not. She's Dominican. There's several videos her saying she's Dominican. And even her husband saying he married her because she was not a black woman. And the guy kind of checked him did you hear what you just said? Yeah. I heard what she said. So I don't have a problem. They both don't seem that bright. And he literally said, we named ourselves the Migas to attract Latin women. So like they found each other. So I don't have a problem with that. Like I'm in Austin and I see black dudes with white women all the time. And I go, hey, I just smile and say, hey. And I think they're so prepared that black women are mad with them. Like they're bracing themselves. And I always be like, hey, how you doing? They're like, oh, hey. It's because people are feeding into these fucking stereotypes. Google AI is getting out of control. Listen, I can only say so much before this video gets. Dang, David said he saw Cardi B at Mayweather fights back in the day. Woo. It was difficult getting to the live stream. I had to select all notifications again. Long wait. Listen, I'm telling y'all, there's 208 of y'all here. There's only 65 likes. Now, you know I keep asking for the likes and y'all think I'm being dramatic on asking for the likes, but what it does, it just shows engagement. It just shows engagement. Like if you enjoy this stream right now, put a 1 in the comments. All it does is tell Skynet to tell everybody else to go, oh, she's live. There's 27,000 people, subscribers to this channel, but there's only 205 of y'all here. Why do you think that is? I'm just saying. Skynet is promoting you now, you're chosen. Yeah, I mean, A1, listen, and let's be honest. I'm not a big rap person. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big country music person. Like there's even country music playing in the background right now. But I do remember you guys, like I guess counseling, what's his name, Lil Wayne, when he said something about Emmett Till or whatever. Like, good. That's what we should be doing as like you're counseled, you're done. We won't promote you. Even this whole R. Kelly thing, who is financing his shows? Women. Right? So again, this is who's financing Cardi B? White people. Ain't black people. I'm just gonna say that. Look at all the shows that Cardi B is on. It ain't black people. It's white people. You know? So ownership is key. It really is. You're gonna have to delete this video now talking about Skynet. I know I probably am. Listen, and people in Texas, they're like, oh, Cardi B's a New Yorker. Like in their mind, that's what a New Yorker acts like. And whenever I tell New York people that, they are so offended. But I'm like, that's what they assume New Yorkers are. Cardi B is so garbage. She really is. Live from the Jiggly Wiggly now. Ownership is key. Thank you, Ray Gunn, for the $5 super chat. Listen, that Jiggly Wiggly getting y'all out there. She's not sexy, skank, slapping. Listen, I'll just say this. People, if I ever say something about Cardi B, they're like, Ericka, you're hating. You're a hater. But when I say Cardi B is 26 years old, Ariana Grande is 25 years old. Look at those two people and look at how they look. Cardi B looks 40 in comparison to Ariana Grande is what I'm trying to say. And so I'm just like, people, like, is this y'all woman? Okay, this is y'all who y'all want? As they say in Wakanda, is this your queen? I mean, if it is, I apologize. Maybe I'm in the wrong. Maybe y'all like her. Oh, listen, Tayman, I'm not going to say her speech pattern is what makes me think she's not smart. There's several things she's done that make me think she's not smart. But I love how in that moment of when she had to pay taxes, she was like, oh, if y'all got money for me, hold it to next year. What are you doing with my money, Uncle Sam? What are you doing? And I think that's the wake up moment for many people when it comes to business. Oh, honey, the taxes Ericka Williams is going to pay this year? Honey, we finding all kinds. We're like, can we buy a farm? Can we buy some rentals? Can we buy some other stuff? Where can we hide this money? Listen, the taxes make you wake up. Smart and devious ain't the same. I would even say she's cunning, but in a bad way. Hard for new artists to own their independent route is good for keeping ownership. It really is. Cardi B's story reminds me, it's a jungle out there. Don't kiss. Listen, Cardi B is the prime example of just because something looks good doesn't mean it is good. And I think in our society, especially with Instagram, everybody is on this, ooh, she looks good, so I'll listen to her. That's why I shared in my commentary that woman who has 200,000 subscribers and complaining about money. And she lives with her parents. She's got 200,000 subscribers. Now, you can say, well, Ericka, she's Asian, so Asians live with their parents. Y'all, 200,000 subscribers in California? Living with her parents? Working in a garage? Just saying, you're gonna see the real come to real. I saw Bill confess to it. Listen, here's my thing about Bill Cosby. Say what you will. The FBI and the CIA were following Bill Cosby since the 1950s and 60s because he was hanging out with civil rights people. If Bill Cosby was doing all that you think he was doing, wouldn't they have gotten him then? Wouldn't you think the 60s and 70s is a time to get a man if he's sleeping with white women? I'm just saying. Anyways, you have to remove the emotions. You really do. It's all distraction. Listen. But that's my point. People are specializing in, like when I make the joke on the channel, I really mean that. Y'all are specializing in Facebook, but LinkedIn, I'm trying to say this in a nice way. I have a friend who's a recruiter, and her company told her to go find black people. Like in the most direct way that she was scared. She was like, oh my God, is this a scam? Are they trying to get me fired? Trying to make me go in HR and try to hire black people? No, they literally told her, hey, we're looking for more minority candidates. So you know what they did? She was scared to lose her job. So they called a company that, this company provides? Minority candidates in tech. This is real out here. I'm trying to get you to see these recruiters and these people on LinkedIn. They are for real looking for different type of quotas and different type of companies. But yet everybody out here on Facebook arguing on Facebook all day because they ain't got no job or they ain't got a serious job. They at work typing on it. And right now, I can tell you, when people hit me up every day on Instagram, oh, I got a few grand to invest. I said, you got 5 or 10 grand. 5 or 10 grand only. When I start buying these apartments, it's got to be more. When I buy some of these smaller houses, maybe you can get in with 5 grand. But a lot of people are like, 5 grand? I don't got that. Then you got to go back to work and you got to go back to stacking. That's why I wrote the Ladder Income book. That's why I put out the Smartphone Millionaire. I literally was talking about you have to stack this stuff. Now I'm going to do the royalties video. I made a note on a piece of paper beside me to do the royalties video. But like literally, we'll just do a whole video where you got all these websites where you can buy royalties online. Why? Because people in Israel, Middle Easterners, all these people overseas are buying royalties of American artists. And it's open online. You can grab it. I just want to buy property, businesses, and live a positive life. Of course, it's distraction. Amen. Gossip site. There you go. Yes. Fifi George. Cardi B and others know their time is limited, so they're trying to get as much cheese off the game before it moves. Facts. How to buy an O with no money and no credit. How is this? Now that is a golden conversation. See, LaFay, that's the problem. Everybody wants to do no money down, no credit, no this, no that. You have to improve yourself. Everybody wants to find out ways to be creative. And there are ways, but it's going to take time. It's going to take so much time. That's why I went to the wholesalers event. I'm going to let them wholesalers run around and ask all these people these questions. So by the time it comes to me, hey, can you just do this? Cool. Done. Because everybody's trying to find that easy route. You got to improve. Yes, it's good to buy used bank loans. I'm honestly not concerned with stupid men. I'm more concerned with the fact that mainstream media is not attacking her like they did everybody else. Attacking her how, AM1? How do you want them to attack her? Do you want them to do an R. Kelly special? Surviving Cardi B? Do you want that? I don't. I just want every time Cardi B's on TV now to be like, Dominican Cardi B. That's all I want. I want every time she comes on stage, I want somebody to be like, she's Dominican. I want every time she's on stage to make it very clear she's Dominican. Because the other day, The Rock Johnson, my make-believe boyfriend in my mind, he's out there saying something about black people. And people are like, oh, Rock, you've been saying you're Hawaiian and Samoan all these years. You're not black. The man's father is black. And people on the internet are so stupid. They're like, The Rock isn't black. The Rock? 6'4", big old Samoan, dark in the summer, Rock isn't black? When that happened? So that's the kind of society we live in, where people are not that bright. Okay, we can move on now. Game got to start recognizing Gabe. Usually the case. You promote capitalism. You all right? Listen, and I'm going to say this in all honesty. You would promote capitalism too if you start going out and travel. I've been traveling since I was 11 years old with my family on Carnival cruises and other group family events, 30 of us deep. And I promise you, when you go to other countries, the only thing you're going to be able to do in some of these countries is be a janitor, be a sex worker, work in tourism. Black people love coming to America because they get the chance to choose. Only Black Americans act like we can't choose. Racism is not stopping you from reading. And I know y'all hate when I say that, but it's not. It's not stopping you from Googling, because you know why? Y'all Google all day and night this stupid shit. So if you want to Google some other stuff, you could. Thank you, Anthony Bowen. How will we stay in contact with you? You can hit the Patrick. You can hit the notifications or whatever. Foreman was an infomercial king. Listen, y'all. I really thought about at one point beefing up the book a ton. Smartphone Millionaire, like beef it up. Seriously, give it another 150 pages or something, and then having an infomercial at night. Now, y'all say, well, why would you want to do that, Ericka? I researched it for 8 months, and some of you on the channel know, because you saw old videos where I was looking at commercials. Literally in Austin, I run into at least once every other week at some of these investor meetings, infomercial people who had one infomercial as seen on TV, some little stupid gadget you never even remember, and they made 3 or 4 mil. And so now they realize they can't live off that little bit of 3 or 4 mil all these years while they try to create another invention. And inventions have a whole nother issue, but we won't go into that. And so now they realize I got to take this infomercial money and make real money. There's a girl that lives in our neighborhood, and she actually owns a condo downtown and rents it out all the time because she cannot afford to live downtown Austin full time. And I said, well, how'd you get in this condo? You just graduated, UT. Her dad had an infomercial, and their family is just squeezing the last of that infomercial money to death. Okay? Thank you so much, Patrick. Black people are separatists. That's why they're not included. Fred the felon. Yeah. Negative birth rate now. Yeah. Ericka, what are your plans to start a family? My plans? I can't tell you exact details, but essentially wrap it up here with one of these little nerdy people and go have a family. Like, literally, there's a number in my head. And many of you be surprised at some of the other future plans I have. I really can't discuss them here because I've signed contracts. But anyway, pretty much, I've got enough dollars to bring in income every month that I don't have to work. My husband don't have to work, but we don't want that kind of dude. We want to do that. Want to work. But I'm telling you, when you go to some of these events, it's all about certain age groups. You got to catch people at a certain time. But yeah, kiddos are in the plan. Most of the internet stuff doesn't happen in real life. Exactly. The reason they are being left behind is because our people are manipulated by mainstream media. That's why Cardi B situation is so important. Ericka, AM1. You know why I think it is? And I'm going to be careful. But I've gone over people's house, and their father works really hard, but all he ever does is watch his Sports Center over and over and over again. There's no really in-depth conversations. So even at homes where there's 2 parents, it's literally your parents dictate. I'm be careful. Your parents dictate the stream of consciousness. And what I see out here is a lot of these women who've had children young, they're still very young. These chest tattoos, all these tattoos. I just saw a story the other day where a woman was 26 years old and she had a 7-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old daughter, yo. And she left her boyfriend at home while she went to work. Clearly this dude is a homosexual, don't work. He'd been dating her for 5 years and he beat her daughter to death. Now, I didn't mean to take this conversation to a dark turn, but when they were on the news talking to her, she was crying, but it wasn't deep crying. She was a young woman covered in tattoos, and she had a wig on, but she took the wig off for the interview. And I just looked at her and I go, you're the reason that child's dead. Unfortunately, you made poor choices. This man, that's not the first time this man is violent. They even noticed on the other children she had, they have old scars. She's got old scars. And, my goal is, if that's your mother, shit. People say, why do I put these videos out? And people are always disrespecting me and calling me fat and calling me ugly names and all this stuff. Because I know there's some black kid who's watching this. And I know that because I've done so many phone calls who are watching these videos and are 22 and 23 and are like, man, you just changed my life. I've never heard anybody talk about what you talk about. And when people say they're being manipulated, I don't blame media. I blame these parents. Blame these parents. And people are like, Ericka, don't, you can't blame the parents. You don't know because you're not a parent. Listen, I have nephews and everybody in our family, our uncles, our aunts, his grandfather, everybody is so invested in these kids, and his father's invested in them. These kids have little businesses. They go to little camps. They go to after school tutoring. I could not imagine a world where kids aren't that loved. But I know it exists, and I know those kids are out there. So this is part of why I do the videos, and part of why I'm tired of hearing the same old, that we're manipulated by the mainstream media, and everybody's a sucker, and it's all choices, man. And if your family is not introducing this to you, like if you're a mom or you're a dad watching my channel, you ain't got to introduce your kid to me. But you know what? Literally, I bought these books, and they were like $5. I sent them to them on Amazon. And it's literally nothing but an infographic throughout the whole book. Very colorful. And I would say start putting these in your home. Now, many people say, Ericka, there you go with the books again. My kids don't want to read. Listen, there's too many people telling me their son's 15 and they just found out he's dyslexic. Ma'am, if you're telling me your son is 15 years old and you just found out he's dyslexic, that means he wasn't reading to you at 4. He wasn't reading to you at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because you would know then from reading and his writing levels that he was dyslexic. So my whole point is, a lot of times we blame the mainstream media for brainwashing our kids, but honestly, it's our job to brainwash our kids. And that was a long rant, but sorry. Trucking or real estate? Either. Listen, all these things work. Buying businesses, all of them work. All of them work, but they will not be easy. That's everybody wants something easy. It's not easy. It doesn't start out easy. What about what makes money? Moses, there's 1,700 videos on this channel. Go check them out. Buying real estate in Oakland? Yeah. My business is multimedia production. It's my job to understand these things for sure. Buying homes? Yeah. They're buying a bunch of stuff. Real estate and trucking is what they're doing. Or pimping. No, they're not pimping. They are buying a bunch of real estate in Oakland. So I had Andrew Yang in my truck. He's the man. Yeah, I really think people are making fun of this, but Andrew Yang is something to be watched out for. Just my thoughts. Don't leave out who's specifically killing themselves. Don't leave out what? It's 40 to 54-year-old white people. Yo, Health, Wealth, and Real Talk, her handlers. There's a video long ago where Cardi B was having like a little breakdown. I think this was like last year. And they had to like take the camera away. And then they kind of blamed it on pregnancy hormones. I was like, okay. One Breath of Kids have a nonprofit. And here's the thing. When I say without a father, I hate saying without a father. A lot of people know their father or their father's near their area. But it's something about the balance. When I'm at people's houses and their dad is there, it's a balance to the energy. And I'm very grateful I grew up in military families and around military friends, because their dad would come home and the energy in the room would change. So that's why when you have these very overly emotional young black men that I'm meeting, like I was at the whole Weave Live event. I was talking to some of these young black guys and they were so emotional. I was like, chill, brother. Like, that's kind of feminine, and it was hard to have a conversation with some of them. Or like one guy was like, man, you're a hustler. And I was like, no, honey, I'm not a hustler. I've just been doing business longer than you. I just know a little bit more than you. And these younger folks are up in their feelings because they didn't have a house with balance. Bay Area real estate is all the way overpriced. Yeah, Black Caesar. Listen, I gave myself 2 days to comment on ADOS. I gave myself 2 days. And I just said, look, we paying Jews, we paying Japanese people. Why we can't pay them? But I'm not revolving my life on writing Congress and going up there and knocking on doors and challenging. Listen, all these young black people you got going to these events where Bernie Sanders and all these politicians they could be doing really impactful work, but instead they're asking questions that lead down rabbit holes to get sound bites. And trust me, the way you get some of this real push in these political circles is money. You see, they never ask black people for their money. They always ask them for their vote. Oh, can you please vote? Could you please vote? They never ask them for their money. And they don't care about it. If you ain't got no money, they don't care. What's up? Hotel parties are foolishness. Listen, listen. Black people are just badgered on platforms. Give us the info. Just give us info. Nah, I ain't got time for that. Yang is a good disruptor. Is that if a cop sees her, he is not seen. Listen, and I think people are getting a wake up call. They're getting a wake up call that even some of these Asians. Now, you guys don't believe me, but if you Google California gangs, there's right now 7 Asians in a row in 3 weeks who've been killed because of Asian gang activity. And this isn't just the Hmongs and the Vietnamese. This is starting to cross over to Koreans and Japanese. And people act like, oh, no, listen, it's a culture. And to say that it's just happening to black people, it's not. Like these cops stop some of these people, they've given them the baton. I do not buy music from these people. Let me be clear. Listen, I say let me be clear because I always think if I run for politics, somebody's going to use a lot of these old videos, be like, Ericka said. So I always have to catch myself. Buying property, they're buying property. And they're doing some Airbnb stuff out there. Listen, listen, let me tell you something. When people say they're not risking their life to protect people, I get that. I really do. I literally carry a firearm, not only for my protection, but when I'm sitting in locations and somebody run up in there and it's a bunch of women and children, I got 2 choices. I flee to safety as taught in many things. A lot of white men, your duty is to the people that are with you first. If your wife and kids are with you, that's who your duty lies to. Them first, and you get out of your location. Secondly, it's called the sheepdog. And I know people don't know this. Everybody's not into guns and tactical training. It's called sheepdog response. Sheepdog response is what cops think they are. Cops think they're what stops crime. They're in between people and criminals. Now, sheepdog also expands to the good guys out in the crowd, right? There's a guy, he sees something happening, and he responds to defend people because he's sheepdog. He's protecting sheep, My duty, anywhere I'm at, and I have my firearm and I'm in a room, is to get to safety. 2, if I see somebody hitting little children, popping off on children, I'm going to have to pop back. But what people don't have to do, like 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to fight y'all on this. 4 o'clock in the morning, going down the street the wrong way, that man with that firearm should have never approached that vehicle, ever. Secondly, she should have never got out of the vehicle. Third, you don't show somebody you call a 911. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they look like. Once that man showed you that gun, your job at that time was to retreat to that vehicle. 4th, 5th, 6th, all those hits, all that stuff, and him saying he feared for his life, he's not going to win this one. If this was this is ugly, but I'm going to say this. If this was a 5'4" black man he was doing this to, he could get away with the I fear for my life. But because it's a woman, because he knocked the phone out the hand, because he didn't have a concealed permit, there's so many things to that case that he is going to go to jail. Now, you're not obliged to help any stranger. You're not. But I don't want to see a bunch of young black men on another video. Everybody's holding out phones. Holding out phones like little punks. Saying, I can't believe that man beat that woman. That's gross. That shit's feminine and it's gross. It's like, ugh. That's what you were doing? You didn't even call 911, brother? You didn't push on the phone 911 first? You filming for World Star? Who's your mom? Who raised you? I don't want you to jump up and fight, but I want you to call 911. And then leave the scene if you must. Oh man, Fred the Felon, $2. Party in hotels because people live at their moms. Damn. Is that what it is? I didn't know that's what it was. Thank you for letting me know. YouTube controls the algorithms. They really do. Record executives love pushing ratchet. Yes. Listen, look at J. Cole. Every single album J. Cole has gone platinum. Everybody from my hometown of Fayetteville, North Carolina, I'm buying J. Cole's albums. And I'm like, it's only 200,000 of us here in Fayetteville. So it can't be all just us. It's people across the world. But that should be what's a mainstream. But it's not. Oh, Enterprise. I ain't going to touch that by the out of wedlock. Yes, at prison point, more women support ratchet women like this, less likely men. No, I think, listen, AM1, to be really honest, I think it's in men. It's like in them. Like I was somewhere and there was like little teenage girls crossing the street and some white guy was on a bike and he was young. Now I know I said earlier it's only older men, but I felt like that white dude was kind of like watching out for these teenage girls, like, hey, watch out, traffic. And it was funny because I was like, sir, you're one man on a bike. These are 4 kids coming out of high school because the high school's across the street over here, McNeil. What you gonna do with that bike? But I think it's an innate nature in men. But you are only obligated, like this guy right here, while looking at me, I'm like, sir, do you need the pee-pee? It's in men, I think, to do that. But only for their family. You're not obligated to protect random people in the world. I don't think it's because of heroin. They overdose. So it's heroin, it's meth. Right now, white women are going to jail at 50% increase since 2015. So black women have been going to jail like down. It's like negative 50%. White women have been going, it's like a 50% increase. And it's because of trafficking. So a lot of people got caught up buying pills in Florida and then driving up to, Pennsylvania, Maryland, DC, you name it, anything up I-95, they got caught. That's Fed time. That's not little time. That's Fed time. Now, what is skewing, like, I honestly believe if you actually had raw arrests, you probably would see a surge across the nation of white people being arrested. But what has happened up north, especially in Pennsylvania, especially in Maryland, Delaware, and Connecticut, there are several police forces who are saying they refuse to arrest these people for drugs, right? They're like, we don't want to participate in the war on crime and war on drugs, and we don't have enough space in our jails. So imagine them basically coming across, hundreds of white people a year, and they're not arresting them because I'm going to just send them over to the medical hospital. I'm going to just drop them off at the detox place, all this other stuff. So it's skewing the arrest rates. So really, people would see a lot more arrests of white people if police actually did their job. Oh crap, we're going on an hour. We got to get out of here. She does look older. Come on, y'all. She look old as hell for her age. Come on. I'm not a beauty queen, but Cardi B's 26 and Ariana Grande's 25. How the hell is that happening? Thank you, $2 from King Midas. AM1, I will say this. Somebody said Alicia Keys, and y'all almost ran her out on the stage. Now, y'all didn't run Alicia out of the stage for cheating on that woman and stealing her husband. But when Alicia Keys said rap music was made for black people to kill each other, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, Alicia Keys is trash. How does people in Minnesota agree with what Dr. Dre has to say in LA? Y'all ain't living the same lives, okay? How do people in Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? So yes, to some degree, that trap, that ratchet music, that drug dealer music, that drug user music, that's crazy. PDH music, testosterone. So they do studies on men's levels of testosterone. Men right now have 30% less testosterone than their fathers. Their fathers, 40 to 60-year-olds, have 30% less than their grandfathers. So like they do all these muscle tests and testosterone tests all the time on mass populations. And people who are from like 90-year-old men, you ever see those little strainers? You ever see those little knuckle grips and you squeeze them? They were doing that to these men for these tests. Literally, the 80-year-old men were stronger physically in the hands than the 60-year-old men and the 30-year-old men. You also had several different groups of men, different tests. They did push-ups, they did pull-ups, they did all kind of stuff. But it was also, they tested their testosterone levels. And they've been seeing in hundreds and thousands of people. Now, they say they think it's food-based related and other things, which I could believe that. I could believe that, your grandfather ate really whole food and delicious food from your grandma cooking fresh vegetables. Your father ate less. He ate, takeout, more takeout food. And you're eating even less. Your mom's ordering takeout all the time. There's a lot of soy in products. There's a lot of estrogen markers in food. So I think it is in men to be very defensive and protective. It's just as we get in different generations, the food, the chemicals, the air, social situations. That's what I mean, PDH Music 03, about older men defending just as their nature. Keep rocking country music. What's up, Fred? Thank you, Fred the Felon. But that's what I said. That's what I mean. Yeah. Let me see. It's getting dark. Hold on. Let me see. I can't even read that. Cardi B is a 5 in the DR. Damn, y'all are just ruthless. She is a light-skinned Latino. She has the phenotype of Negro. You can't hide that W-shaped nose. Damn, y'all are ruthless. Yeah, Dominicans are black. Technically, they are. They had a huge level there. AM1, I'd have to see these upper class black people because there are like 10 black women on who are business owners who are like disgusting. Like Cardi B should be arrested. They got big followings and they've been talking about it all week. And they're like, they make money. Dominicans are just like Haitians but speak Spanish pretty much. Why are people parking right beside Bill Cosby got railroad? I ain't gonna go there. Oh yeah, like 70% of the audience that are buying this stuff is white kids buying this music. Oh gosh, there's so much. You guys are killing me. Is there an email list to have participate in future items, Ericka? Cosmetism soon, but not right now because we're just trying to get all the trucks closed out and then I can review it. LinkedIn is way open. Exactly. Rappers last 2 years max. Yep. Getting IT, man. I'm telling you. And people be like, in the comments, people are like, well, they're not hiring black people as much. Listen, they running all these HB1 visas through the roof. And Donald Trump ain't playing it no more. That description, though. The Rock's father is Rocky Johnson. Yeah. Rock is a mulatto. Man, Gmail talk. I ain't going on that. I'm not going to read. I can't even reply. See, Billie Jean, already you're the way you set that question up, I don't want you in my group. There's only certain type of people I want investing with me in real estate and trucks because they're going to get quarterly dividends. That's why Grant Cardone, I'm so shocked that he's changed the way he's not going to just deal with accredited investors. It's a mindset and money. It's not just money. I know. They crazy. Man, PhD music. Listen, I'll be in Atlanta next week. But Atlanta too much for me sometimes. Y'all got a lot going on down there. I feel sorry for a kid having a mother like that. Yeah. Oakland, California in the house. Glad to see your channel growth. Thank you. That infomercial pays up front. So it's a common, there's different ways the infomercials work. Like if you see as seen on TV, those people do get paid a little bit up front. They get like an advance and then they get royalties for many years. But 9 times out of 10, it's like a trickle after it gets in the stores. Oh, yes. I really hope Lil Nas X owns his rights because they're playing that thing everywhere. They like that crap. $4.99. If you don't graduate middle school in France, you're blanked. Americans don't know how good we have it. Woo! Cyber Z. See, tell them people don't travel enough. See, people don't travel and see black people like here in America. When I see black people who are always in restaurants as the restaurant workers and bartenders and cleaning staff, I feel some type of way. But when I go overseas, they ain't even the servers. They ain't even the hotel front desk. They're not even like they outside sweeping the street as part of the city. Like y'all don't understand. America, I'm telling you, for brown people, it's the best on money, not always the best on treatment, if that makes sense. Oh, thank you, Dimitri. Man, y'all in here. What do tattoos have to do with it? Listen, K. Kelly, if you see a woman and she's covered in tattoos, it's up here. A lot of people, if you have tattoos on your body that have no meaning, that's a problem. And that's my stance on that. You don't have to agree with it. Girl, health, weight, and real talk. Kids live their kids with anything. Any and everybody. Personally, don't date women with tattoos. So stupid. I don't date women who smoke or drink. Listen, I know girls who smoke all the time. They smell horrible. I went on a date one time with this guy. He smoked cigarettes. He had a mustache. Man, I about fell out when he tried to kiss me. I was like, man, get out of here. My father would read an hour every night. Yep. Oh, the books I held up one more time. It's just like, it's gonna infographic, budgeting 101. These are very basic books. They call them crash course books. Investing 101. I got these for my one of the book shelvings I'm putting in my brand new house. That's coming up soon. So no. I had a surgery and it made literally I gained some weight from the channel. Y'all can tell, but I don't care. I literally work out with my personal trainer. I run. Signed up for some half marathons, but that won't be for a year. So, I mean, hey, you got to take care of yourself. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Quinn Bell. I'm struggling to understand Cardi B has zero talent. She really does. But see, there's the transition that's happened in music. Like, if you guys ever read the story of Lady Gaga, an executive said she's so ugly and her nose is so Jewish, I can't sell her. So what did Lady Gaga do? She started doing all these stupid crap all over her head and all this like distraction. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. They did all this crap and hair color to distract you from their looks and their lack of talent. But it worked because now Lady Gaga's like, I'm so wealthy, I don't have to put on that crap anymore. Yes, Kevin. Picked up my truck today. I'll be posting it into the Facebook group. Yay, Jamar! Congratulations on your truck. Oh, I can't talk about the Amazon thing. Yes, we really do. Listen, there's a guy right now. They're asking Donald Trump to pardon him. If anybody can Google it, look it up. He's a black man. He got released. He had like identity theft or fraud, using somebody's credit card, which was wrong. He served 2 years, got out. He's been working 2 jobs for 13 years now in Connecticut. The U.S. Marshals come to his door and get ready to arrest him, saying, you didn't serve the other 2 years. So now they're trying to get Donald Trump to pardon this guy because he's been working a job for 13 years. 2 jobs. This is why I tell y'all, you cannot just be comfortable. Like, I just want to be comfortable, Ericka. There is no comfortable. The fact that this man is having to ask for a pardon instead of having enough legal team and money to fight what should be just he served in 2004. That's over, right? He served in 2000. He got out in 2006. But he's been working for 13 years, upstanding citizen, but renting. He don't own his house. He don't own a car, working 2 jobs. And so it's one of these things where you're like, you cannot just do enough to be comfortable. And I keep trying to tell y'all this. You cannot just do enough to be comfortable. You have to do more than that. You have to have ownership. Whoa, $20. I'm late here, but I'm supporting these valuable lessons. We have a 2-parent household, but the channel has taught me that family is first, small business, so invest in them if nobody else will. Got my smartphone millionaire copy today. Thank you, Talking Drums Entertainment. He was released on bond. And then, listen, this is how Dallas is trying to clean it up. The charges were so low, then that video went viral, and so Dallas had to go back and make his shit felonies because they were like, oh, people are seeing that we didn't really charge him. Oh, yeah. 4 if she didn't have to drive down the street. Like, there's so many scenarios in this that I'm like, careful. Without video, she wouldn't have been able to prove her case. Listen, without video, her dumb ass, let me tell you, she dumb. And when she talking in interviews, I can tell she dumb. She shouldn't have been out there at 4 a.m. It sounds very sketchy. It sounds like criminal activities. Exactly. They weren't saying that. Mm-hmm. She's a hard 26. That's a good word. Hard 26. She do. Alicia Keys isn't trash, but you steal people's husbands while their wife is 5 months pregnant. I'm sorry. I have no qualms. I have no respect for you. Because when Fantasia's old dark skin ass did the same thing, y'all ran Fantasia under the bus. But when Alicia Keys did it, because she's so beautiful and she plays the piano, it was okay. I'm like, none of that's okay. None of that immoral stuff is okay. Stealing people's husbands, not okay. Cardi B is every hood rat's fairy tale. Golly, that's terrible. Hard life, hard face. Damn, y'all rough. Shit. Oh, shit. Rogue's Motive said Ariana Grande didn't spend 8 hours a night in a smoke-filled club before she made it big. Damn. Y'all are tough. Y'all are a tough audience. Yeah, yep. There's a lot. Processed food, fried chicken. Listen, I say this and I don't mean this in any kind of way. I have 40-year-old friends who look better than 25-year-olds. And people are like, oh, Ericka, you lying. You know, women always saying other women are beautiful. No, listen. I've got 40-year-old friends who are size fours, in shape, run down the street, and we got people that we know are 23 look like a soda bottle or something. Like they just eat processed food all day. Like literally, the reason I'm starting to try to go vegan, like barely, is because there's something in the food, y'all. There's something in that food. It's got too many hormones, too many chemicals. No, McDonald, I never say that. If you ain't watched this video, you gotta watch it again. Oh yeah, listen, McDonald, if you ever actually read about African Americans are the only people in the United States who 99 I think 99% of our deaths are related to food or if we get murdered. That's it. That's it. They're all food based as far as like the cancers we suffer, diabetes, all that stuff, high blood pressure, it's all food related. Everybody else in the country has high cancer rates, high, just high everything else. We are the only demographic of people that we suffer pretty much all our deaths are food based or we got murdered, which is crazy, right? So black men, they're like, oh, black people kill each other. No, number one for black men is heart disease. People say, oh, 80% of black women are overweight. 70% of black men are overweight. This is medically, this is like across the country. So, I'll agree with everybody on the food. That's why, if you see some of the videos I put on Instagram, I'll be showing these different vegan places I try to go to. That's a big movement in Atlanta that I like. Uh-oh, phone beeping. It's about to die, y'all. Oh no. Owner be on. That's right. Thank you for the foot shout out super chat. I can't. Readers are leaders. I have that investing book 101. You gonna give us a tour? Not today. Lady Gaga is super talented. Yeah. Guys love tatted up women. They don't call them ride or dies. My husband got out of that stage, luckily, without any kids from these women. Y'all, I'm not playing. There's a woman at a bar. I love her. She's actually super educated now. But she's a bartender, and she has a tattoo across her chest that's like trouble. And every time I come in there, I'm like, woo, trouble. And she'd be like, yeah, to this day, I hate that tattoo. I'm like, who tattoos their titties? Ugh. So, but you got a lot of people out there, that whole Barbie thing, those tattoos. So, all right, let's see. All right, you guys, I gotta get out of here. You guys have been tripping. Alicia Keys flew under radar. Yeah, she did. Yeah, listen, you ever been to a high school and see some of the seniors? You got black boys in there with full beards. I'm like, what kind of processed chicken is your mama feeding you? I ain't never seen that in my life. I'm drinking nothing but water. Listen, I have a thing on my phone. It's an app, and it tries to track how much water you drink. You need water. Water. You can smell it in people's pores when they eat poorly. We were somewhere with this guy, and he was sweating. And he was like, oh, I got the meat sweats. And I was like, dude, stop eating the food immediately. You're sweating. Stop eating it. We were at a burger place called Muyas. And they were all like, oh, Ericka, you don't want to eat with us? I was like, ugh, these burgers they were like this big. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, Roscoe, honestly, they test our organs. On average, our organs are 10 years younger than like when we come in and we say we're 40, like we have the organs of 30-year-olds. When we come in, we're 50. It's the only thing that wears us out is heart and fat. Heart disease and fatty. It's called fatty liver, but it's when you have too much fat around your waist and it starts attaching to your liver and other things. So. Nikki, people say all the time those BMI charts were not made for black people. I mean, even Asian people struggle to fit those charts. I had family members in the military. She came right out of college, out of track, and she had to tape out, and she's like nothing but muscle straight from track. So some of those BMI charts are ridiculous. Man, y'all are tripping. Roscoe said chest tattoos on women are the worst. Tattoos on the thigh or ankle are the best. Listen, my friend, he's Asian. He's 5'4". He said, Ericka, I'm so sick of seeing these chest tattoos. And I will not lie to y'all. I had never seen, I wasn't paying attention. And then everywhere I looked after he said that, I saw chest tattoos everywhere. I'm like, if I was a man, I'd be like, girl, you got chest tattoos? Like, of all places? Not your ankle, not your wrist, not your thigh, but your chest? Ooh. All right, Ray, look. It's been an hour, 20-minute show. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. You've been amazing. Thank you for all the likes. Skynet told you I was here. I appreciate it. But look, wrap this all up. Cardi B, whew, that's a fast road to rough life. Mark my words. She will probably own her masters in a year. Or the people on her team will help her own her masters. Because if not, she's going to be out there, y'all.